app stores of iOS and Android. When you download, make sure to rate, leave a comment. Both apps are free. And one more thing, Zingo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Fire TV sticks, Roku sticks, and all smart TVs 2016 and forward. And without further ado, let's roll. Hey people, what's going on? I'm Scott, and we got a little bit of a different group today because we have Kyle Krieger, you know him, but from Tales from the Film Set, we have Davion Bussey and also Mr. Ryan O'Regan, and we're going to be talking, or they're going to be talking, WrestleMania 39.
Woo!
Yes, this is something a little bit outside of my jurisdiction, so given the circumstance in this particular case, these fine gentlemen are going to be rolling with that. When they get done with the conversation, whenever that's going to be, we'll pop on. We'll talk a little Major League Baseball, maybe a little NCAA finals. But as somebody whose wrestling knowledge usually comes down to what he remembers from the 80s or that one bit of trivia that makes him not sound like an idiot but burns out on every, it's like, hey, did you know that Rock used to play CFL football? And then he's done for the rest of the night. I am going to be useless in this conversation. So in this particular case, I'm going to let these guys run. I'm going to be in the background taking comments, taking thoughts. And then with that, gentlemen, you have 80,000+ people in attendance on this, and arguably one of the best rated, and depending on their perspective, best WrestleManias of all time. Gentlemen, it's all yours.
I wouldn't say it was the best of all time, but
Exactly.
it was definitely one of the better ones for the most part.
Well,
I
think we need to lay a couple of ground rules here, especially since I know wrestling isn't exactly the topic of conversation a lot here on the Sports Den. First and foremost, yes, folks, we know it is planned. We know it is scripted. That does not negate the fact that these guys are still professional athletes doing what they do, putting their bodies on the line. They just have a little bit more, shall we say, flair to go along with things. And the simple fact is, this is now a whole different WrestleMania than you might have been used to back in like the 80s and the 90s and even the early 2000s, even the 2010s, to be honest. Simply because this is a 2-night event, which means it's a lot. It is super a lot. So basically, to go ahead and like break it down, either by the best matches, worst matches, I would definitely say Saturday night better than Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's kind of a shame considering there was more people at the event on Sunday than there was Saturday. Mostly because of this match that you're seeing right here. The undisputed champion, Roman Reigns, man who's held both major championships for roughly a year, up against the man who WWE forgot, co-creator of AEW Wrestling, possibly its biggest competitor in years, who decided to take a shot and go back to WWE to claim the championship that not only he never grabbed, but his father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, never grabbed. Cody Rhodes. And I know I can't curse, but F you, Solo Sikoa. All right? That's all. Unless you want me to keep going and get heated, you guys talk.
It was good for the vast majority of the show. Absolutely. Sorry, my screen just kind of flashed out there. But yeah, most of the matches were really good. Like normally, like for like the past few years, most WrestleManias have been hit or miss, depending on the match. Where like about half of them end up being like, I guess using a star scale of 5 stars being the best. Most of them ended up being like 2 stars, maybe 2.5, with like the occasional 4-star match, 4 or 5-star match that's spattered out in between. This one felt like the opposite, where most of the matches were really good and the crappier ones end up being either the opener matches or just like a random one in the middle of it. Like Saturday's show was probably one of the best WrestleMania days that I've seen in a very long time. in terms of both execution of the matches and of course storyline results, like how they advanced the story, how they concluded stories, and they did a very, very good job on night 1. And then there was night 2, where while the matches were still, for the most part, great quality, it ended up feeling like a fart at the end. It's like it's like you're building up, you have a storyline that's coming in and that's basically been executed for like the past 3-4 months at the very least, and then some if you're given like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and those aspects, where of course in the previous pay-per-view you had it really, really built up for Sami Zayn to take the title off of Roman Reigns, and of course ended up being that was it was basically a fart of an ending on that one, but you could justify it. It's like, okay, you have him lose and you have Cody Rhodes coming in, gonna be basically the all-American hero, finally knocking him off his perch, etc., etc. And so it's like, okay, fine, you don't have Sami Zayn winning in Montreal, okay, which means that you're probably building up for WrestleMania. It's basically the culmination of this year plus worth of storylines. Send the people home happy, etc., blah blah blah. And then night 1, you had that, and people were lauding it. They were excited. They were into it. They saw the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens versus the Usos as the main event, and you had your result of being, all right, this is great. It basically concluded, or it was a moment. It was a very huge moment. People were going into it thinking, like, okay, now is it just going to be more of the same old crap, or are we going to see something that's going to make everyone happy? That's going to be a payoff, as it were. Like a payoff is probably the best term. And you got that on night 1. People were diving. People were exuberant. Like, the social media feeds afterwards were insane because people were so happy about it. And then night 2 came along, and like I said, while the matches were mostly really good, the main event coming in had basically Cody Rhodes going against Roman Reigns. You had like your referee bumps, you had your interferences by the Bloodline on the outside, which to be expected. And it's like, okay, following along with it, you're getting hyped, you're going into it, you're waiting for the payoff. And then you had the one guy getting tossed out by the ref because they saw him cheat. Okay, good. That's
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. And he finally heard one, even though the referee was pretty much just like the entire time, and was fine. And he finally did his usual, get out of here. And that created such a pop, such a crowd reaction that was like, okay, this is what we've been waiting for. Okay, we finally have an even footing. Then the Usos from last night come in to interfere. Fine. Then you get that countered by Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That created an amazing pop. That created another great fan reaction. And it's like, okay, here we go. The crowd's getting into it. And then it's like, okay, you had like your other interference. And normally, from what WWE has been built on over its entire existence, where it's like, okay, you have the heels, you have the bad guys interfering, you have everyone getting angry at it. It's like, it's happening again, and then you have the counter, and then it's like, okay, then now you have the face, you have the good guy finally overcoming those odds, finally dethroning a heel that people despise at this point. And unfortunately, like every other Roman Reigns match over the past like 4 years, and it just ends up being a fart of an ending. And it's like, yep, no matter how much.
Why are we even here? Kyle like knows all of this. It's like
I have been a wrestling fan for quite some time, but as I said, you had the build up, you had the expected payoff, and they just, it's like, nope, LOL, Reigns wins again. Another fart of an ending.
Pretty much, like
Yeah,
I
the best
would
way I can
say-
describe it, it's like you're in it's like you finally are out of a toxic relationship with WWE. Then night one, you remember what you loved about it, why you were together, and then night two is the reminder of why you broke up in the first place.
She's drunk and making out with your best friend, so it's like
I'm gonna say this, ladies and gentlemen. I called it on the last show.
don't start.
I called it on the last show, even though I was not rooting for Roman Reigns, but I called it.
No,
I stated this was gonna be a April Fool's joke while we were sitting there saying Cody Rhodes is gonna do it, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna be the great white hope.
he's gonna cure racism.
And
First of all, doesn't count as an April Fool's joke if it happens the day after April Fool's. The time has passed.
not
Don't give me a Christmas gift on December 27th. All right?
Right.
We don't do that.
right. Blame WWE on this one.
Look, the thing you have to understand about wrestling, folks, a wrestling match in general is really at its peak when both performers or both sides of the match get to show their best. And unfortunately, with the kind of ending that you got with this Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns match, it did not show Roman at his best.
Yes, it really did.
And that's the problem. Cody was spectacular. You could praise Cody Rhodes day and night for everything that he did with his. We're talking about a man who no more than like midpoint last year had his entire pectoral muscle torn off of the bone, so much to the point that it was all red here, like my shirt. It was as red as my shirt, maybe even deep purple. And he still did a Hell in a Cell match against Seth freaking Rollins with that torn pec and won.
Will you get
and you're going to tell me that Cody's going to lose in this match just because Solo Sikoa comes back out, this time with a hoodie, so this way you couldn't tell who he was, giving him a Samoa spike in the throat, and then that's how Roman wins. From another interference. I cannot remember the last... Yeah, that's the pectoral muscle tear right there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That earned him Match of the Year last year, as far as all wrestling reporters are stated. You're going to tell me that man lost to a simple thumb to the throat and then followed up with the standard Roman Reigns 1-2 punch.
It was a super spear.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When was the last time you saw Roman Reigns win a match clean?
Not for a long time.
No, and that's the problem. If you really wanted to make this the showcase for him, if you really wanted this WrestleMania to be like the defining moment of his championship run, of him keeping the bloodline, him and his family together, you make the man go clean. You make it so that there is no discernible doubt. But now there's nothing but doubt. And it's like, why should we even care anymore? Because you've taken the goalpost, WWE, and moved it back, and moved it back, and moved it back so many times, I can't tell if it's actually a goalpost or just someone putting up to chase you.
It's basically the golden middle finger at this point.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. Roman, well, I do agree with the Nightcrawler's statement there. Roman beating Cody would make Cody look weak. Yes and no. With how much Roman has been pushed, with how strong he has been made to look, it wouldn't be as weak as most would think. It's not like saying you're losing clean to R-Truth.
Right.
So it's like, and you're losing, and it's the you're welcome. And it is still the main event of WrestleMania. You're losing to someone who's held the title for, I think it's over 2 years at this point.
Yeah, it is.
It's like losing to him clean. You're not going to look weak. But even then, it's just like the same old
Oh,
same old crap,
Vince.
for lack of a better.
Right.
Yeah, it's that the analogy of having it be a fart of an ending. It's a fart that reeks of Vince.
Yeah.
So they will say that they had this planned for weeks ahead of time and
I
everything.
bet, but
And mind you, the original plan for this WrestleMania was supposed to be Roman Reigns versus his cousin, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
mhm.
But obviously, Dwayne turned it down because he didn't have enough time between Black Adam and Fast Act or whatever movies he's doing where they're not performing like they used to. And he wasn't able to get physically conditioned because you do have to get physically conditioned for this sort of thing.
Oh,
Right.
Look at
absolutely.
someone like Logan Paul. Look, I may not like Logan Paul.
A lot of us
I think a
don't.
lot of people don't like Logan Paul.
But his performance,
Yes, you cannot deny the fact that that is a guy who put in the time and the work. We rarely
Mhm.
see that from celebrities. We've seen it maybe from like Stephen Amell, Bad Bunny, and yes, Logan Paul, someone who actually takes it seriously. So yeah, obviously, if The Rock didn't think he was going to be able to get himself in fit shape to make it look realistic,
Mhm.
wasn't going to do it.
Yeah,
And
which is
so
fine.
supposedly, this is what the trades say. Roman wasn't going to lose to Dwayne.
No,
So why would he lose to anybody else? I'm like,
so let's
because
just
it makes sense if you do.
yeah, and it's like, okay, if he loses to The Rock, okay, that's fine. If he beats The Rock, okay, whatever. It's just same old crap.
right,
But it's like we had that moment in night one.
right.
You had it. It was in the palm of your hand, and it's you swerve for the sake of swerving. You do that on on just like an off show like No Way Out or
Right.
even Backlash or whatever. This is WrestleMania. This is your ultimate show. This is your flagship, and you do this.
It's
Well,
like that.
okay,
it's
not
like
not
that-
that says necessarily like.
I'm gonna interrupt real quick. It's
No,
like
go
that,
ahead, go ahead.
It's like that commercial with the guy with the pole with the fishing pole.
Mhm.
It's like he put that dollar there.
Oh,
Oh Jesus!
gotta be quicker.
Gotta be quicker than that.
All right,
But on real, well, let's be real. We knew something like this was gonna happen. Some of us did. I was hoping Cody Rhodes was gonna pull it off, especially on night one when we saw the Usos lose
Mm-hmm.
to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. We was like,
yes,
yes, there's about to be a moment where it's going to break Roman Reigns' confidence.
The reaction was amazing. It like registered on like the Richter scale. It was that loud.
Wait,
But
Nightcrawler said, I think the Hell in a Cell injury is the reason Cody Rhodes didn't win.
no. Cody Rhodes didn't
No.
win simply because Roman has too many people helping him. That's what it really boils down to. You need an army to go after Roman Reigns,
which is, and they had that with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Which
but
I understand it's still 4v3 plus Paul Heyman, but
yeah, trust me, Cody wouldn't even be in that match if they didn't take the time for his pec to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He made damn sure that he was completely fit again, so that there was no doubt in anyone's mind that Cody wasn't fit to be in the match.
Yeah,
right.
And it's like the reason why he went from Act 1 straight to Act 3 was because of the injury. Fine, because it didn't have as much time as before.
Right.
Fine, that I can understand. But it's like, so what if it went right to Act 3? It's WrestleMania. It's Act 3. Period. Like a lot of the storylines, they end quickly. But here's the thing: you're still writing the storylines. If you feel you made a mistake, okay, rectify it in the next pay-per-view.
Right.
Send the people home happy.
Now,
It's like you want them to go home saying that was an amazing match. Okay, if the heel won, great. But they're not going home saying, okay, that was amazing. I can't wait to see the next one. They're going home saying,
you got screwed.
Why did I just waste all this time and money for this?
right.
And the fact of the matter is, a stinker of an ending like that can take away from the rest of the achievements that were happening, not just on night 2, but WrestleMania overall. There were some phenomenal matches, not to necessarily take away from like Romans and Cody, but I do want to point out that there was like 2 full nights of great wrestling, some greater than others. I would have to say my matches that probably went better than this match. You had Charlotte Flair and
Rhea Ripley.
That was a phenomenal women's match. And mind you, yes, Charlotte Flair, the lineage that she has, the genetic upkeep that she has, she is pretty much the apex of women's wrestling. But Rhea is a beast. All right.
Oh, absolutely. And it's like that was probably Charlotte's best match in a while, but she is essentially the female Roman Reigns. Where
I could see that, yeah.
Where it's basically she's booked to win all the time. And honestly, half the time those matches end up just being bore fest. This one was good. This one I will give that it was good, but I feel it was good because of Ripley and not because of Charlotte.
That's fair. And mind you, storyline aside, between like their history at WrestleMania 2020 and how that completely just put Rhea under the rug for a while with that loss. I feel like if you were going to go ahead and put Rhea Ripley up against somebody at WrestleMania, you don't do it against Becky, you don't do it against Asuka, you don't do it against Bianca. You do it up against possibly the epitome of everything that Rhea isn't.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, yin and yang with these two. You have the pedigree, the lineage of everything that Charlotte Flair, old school wrestling, just the overall experience given to her versus someone like Rhea Ripley, who's gone ahead and really just dug herself a niche. Like, I remember back when she was blonde. Most people didn't think back that far. The minute she went edgy, even back at NXT, before she joined the Judgment Day, she has slowly climbed the ladder more so than anybody else, and she has made every spoke worth it. Yeah, that dude. Those are like the old school days now. But yeah, it was complete, like, good versus evil to a certain extent. So much for that some people didn't even know who to root for. That's the kind of match I like. I don't want there to necessarily be a straight up, good guy Cena type versus an Austin Theory who everyone despises. I want there to be a race. I want there to be what? Right. I don't care what your motives are. You're doing a damn good job. Keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to the earlier comment, is this Charlotte's best match ever? It's definitely one of her. I would say it's one of her top 5 at the very least,
but not her best match ever.
I think her best match ever was the one against
Sasha Banks.
Yes, the one against her and Sasha Banks.
Her and Sasha Banks were like trading back, like they were doing Pokemon cards.
First match,
that belt went everywhere.
Yeah. Day. I agree with Day. I think it was her first, the first face off between the two.
Yeah.
I don't know, that cage match was pretty good too.
It was. Those are 2 in the top 3, sure.
But that first match between her and Sasha Banks was like a very well polished storytelling at its best.
It had all the aspects that made a good match. It was good in the ring and outside the ring.
Right.
Yeah. And I will say possibly the best matches of both nights were the ones that really had like a good amount of storytelling to it.
Yes.
Case in point, outside of obviously the drip of Seth freaking Rollins going up against Logan Paul, which is why I'm doing my color coding the way I am. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio.
Brought to you by Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
The taste you can see.
Look,
Daddy's Belt brought to you by Cinnamon.
Okay, look, there was so much branding on this show. Let's not even start, all right? I don't want to get into like the Mike
absolutely.
of that triple threat on Sunday.
But there were two matches in particular where the branding was a little absurd.
Yeah.
It was this one and the Sheamus Gunther Drew McIntyre one that was brought to you by Mike's Harder Lemonade.
No. Because here's the thing. It's
Those
not
are
like they brought a Mike's Harder Lemonade down to the ring with them.
Yes!
Logan Paul brought a giant blue Prime bottle
But at least that was
with
his.
KSI on the inside.
Yes. Yeah. At least that one actually played into the match. Yeah. TurboTax both nights, sure. But yeah, TurboTax's replay.
Wait. Prime.
Okay,
Yeah,
but at least that was involved with the match. It made it more entertaining in my opinion, and then it also gave him enough padding to take the bump that he did, because he was it's like looking at it, it's like just in like the later shots of him like on the gurney, you see how thick that padding is to take
just like
the
Prime
bump
itself,
he did.
with its gelatinous mouthfeel.
Yes, exactly. Was it made of Prime? Who knows? But it was that was an entertaining finish. It was cheesy as hell, but entertaining.
Right. And who's to say we won't get more on the next pay-per-view, since we'll be in Puerto Rico for Backlash, and Logan Paul lives in Puerto Rico now, so. But I do want to see Bad Bunny getting in there too. I would like to see Dominic versus Bad Bunny for the next one, because pretty much anybody, look, for as much involvement as like Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns had with the Bloodline and with Zayn and Owens, everybody who was anybody that was connected to these two people came into this match. You had Finn Balor, you had Damian Priest, you had Bad Bunny, you had the Latino World Order, you had Ray's wife and his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter got the water thrown on her. It's like, come on, man.
Yep.
And she was ready to fight her own brother. It was like, I'm gonna kill her.
I was half expecting her to jump over and get involved.
Yeah.
It's because it's like yeah, the storyline was meh for the most part, but it was still built up. There was this was the payoff of the match. They even had a segment during Rey Mysterio's Hall of Fame speech where Dom like got up and walked out.
Yeah,
and
they rarely ever do something like that where they actually play the storylines into the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually supposed to be like a realm out of time where you're just appreciating the wrestlers and their lineage. But no, they played into it. And he even said, I'll take care of that tomorrow night. I'm like, damn, man, they are really going in with this. Yeah. And I dare say, best entrances of both nights.
Yeah.
Dom's and Reigns.
I was actually halfway hoping that when I saw Ray starting his entrance in the lowrider, I was kind of hoping that they may have mistimed it to have him start a little sooner to get stuck behind the police car.
Right.
That would have been funny. But yeah, no, the entrances were phenomenal. The homages to Rey Mysterio, the homage that Ray paid to Eddie Guerrero was nice. It started out really It started out really good, and while I was kind of hoping that there was like a trampoline step so he can just boom jump right out the sky, REY Mysterio right onto that gigantic ass ramp, that probably would have been that's the only way I could see it would have made it better. But
by the way, lovely note on Dom wearing the mask of like that he had during like his Halloween Havoc days back in WCW. Yep. That was a great homage.
Yeah.
Yep, the Phantom mask. That was great. And then you had Dom come out with the Phantom mask, and then you had Ray coming out with the Muta mask.
Well, yeah, it was definitely like half Great Muta homage with like the bigger cheeks and everything. But also, it was the Flash. All right, we've seen him do the Flash before.
Yes,
he plays up to any superhero he can.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Halloween Havoc '97, very good. Nice.
Look at you, Tyler. All right,
nice little factoid there. Very nice.
Oh, Tyler knows his stuff.
Good stuff.
He knows some things. Yes.
Oh yeah, but yeah, no, that match turned out to be really, really good. And even with the absurd product placement, but that made the memes, but the match was still good.
Right. But I do have to ask you both: we're talking about like how great WrestleMania was and everything. Obviously, we didn't like how Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes ended, but it was still a decent match.
Yeah.
What was your worst match of both nights?
Worst match overall?
I would
Yes.
I got one. I really had to say The Miz surprisingly faced Shane McMahon.
I don't even classify that as a match.
I can't even count that as a match.
I don't count those. I don't
You don't count it as a match?
In terms of legitimate matches.
Okay, legitimate.
When the guy gets injured on his own power within the first minute,
Like
so much so that Snoop Dogg has to pull the audible and actually complete the match himself with, I have to admit, one of the funniest people's elbows I've ever seen impersonated by somebody.
No. I will say this: they pulled the audible off very well. Out of all the ways they could have gone about it, that was good. Very good heads up play. Very good audible. It created entertainment instead of another fart.
Right.
But I give Snoop Dogg, The Miz credit for being able to pull that one off.
Yeah, no,
as seamlessly as they could, given that Shane basically pulled a Vince and tore a quad within 15 seconds of the match. So like father like son.
You could have avoided this if you had actually brought in, I don't know, Bobby Lashley or LA Knight or one of the hundreds of other talents that you actually have in the roster, instead of calling up the generic geriatric son of Vince. For what reason?
He's in his 50s, I think.
Yeah, but let's face it, with as many things as he's put himself through and he's dived off of over the years, he's as old as his father.
I'm amazed the guy can still walk.
Well, obviously he can't.
Well, not anymore. But fine. I'm also surprised the guy still has.
He's gonna be like Vince was, and he's just gonna be like sitting there on the ring. It's like
more along the lines. I'm actually more surprised he's able to even be cognizant after that bump he took against Kurt Angle. That one match where the glass did not break.
Right.
And he basically landed head first on concrete. Yeah, no, that. Look that one up on
I
YouTube.
saw that. I know what you're
that one's gruesome to watch, because it's like, oh my god, it's like he's fallen from ridiculous heights,
jumping and jiving before he got into thing.
But no, I'm entertained by Shane on occasion. But
yeah, here comes the money to pay for your health insurance.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But no, in terms of worst match over the two shows for me, I would have to go the John Cena Austin Theory match.
I really was about to say that now.
Yeah,
really?
it's
the first one.
I would say, but also it's like John Cena. He still tries to put on some matches. Fine, he does not have the movement that he once did. Austin Theory is not as good. Not yet. There goes the money. Very nice, but yes, and yes, Shane was absolutely gassed from running down the ramp. But yeah, oh no, the memes are fantastic so far. But for someone tearing his quads, the memes are fantastic. Yeah. But going back to the crappy actual match, John, yeah, it's like I Cena's good for like the appearance or two, but he needs to be with someone who can move along with the match, who can keep it good. Austin Theory is not that person, and even then, bringing out the herd of the Make-A-Wish kids to only see John Cena lose. Half those kids are now going to die of no hope.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Wow. Woo. Ouch.
Sorry. Kyle taking no prisoners.
Wow.
I don't take no, but no, that was. Wow. It's like you're when you tried out all the Make-A-Wish kids to watch John Cena lose at WrestleMania. That's not good.
Wow.
You don't do that.
No. I did not expect Kyle to say that. And that
going off script, I
guess. You know what that remind me of?
What?
It's a South Park reference.
I know, but another movie with was it Marlon Wayans?
There you go. That's the exact reference. Thank you.
Oh my God. When the kid was hoping, he was like, he's gonna be the next hope, and then the guy get knocked out. And the guy was overweight. The champion was overweight.
Mm. But yeah, if it's not the John Cena match, I would say the Brock Lesnar versus Omos match. That was another one that was
okay.
Nah.
Here's the thing, yeah. The Cena Theory match, I can understand people griping about it because they expect a certain amount from Cena, and unfortunately, it comes into the same conversation that we had with Dwayne Johnson. You know, if you don't necessarily have the time to get yourself into working condition, which I dare say John probably wasn't in as working condition as he could have been, then it's going to show.
Right.
Now, the thing is, Brock and Omos, Oreos, whatever you want to call them, that wasn't as bad of a match as I thought it could have been because you are still working with the guy's strengths. The only problem is Omos is just so damn huge. It's like Brock Lesnar giving him any kind of like toss or anything. That's basically like Omos like jumping and falling into bed. You know, that's like the size there. It's nothing. If that had been like if that had been Rey Mysterio, he would have been flying through the ropes. But for this, it's like a nothing drop.
Right.
Well, Brock Lesnar has done that to giants before. Like he did that to the Big Show.
Yes, but the Big Show was a lot heavier compared to Omos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
well,
I mean,
he also did, I think he also did that to Khali as well.
Scrawny little legs can carry it.
Yeah, Khali, he did that to.
Yeah, he's basically slammed all the big guys. And yes, I do agree. Cena should have kicked out of one finisher, at least. But
he did it for the kids.
I did it for the kids.
Yeah, but I will say probably the worst match really was the women's showcase. Simply because I don't know what you were showcasing there. I don't know who you really had to show for that. I mean, it was maybe a foregone conclusion that the only one that was actually like a tag team being Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, two UFC people, which, of course, that match happened right after Brock, so it was like UFC winner after UFC winner. Them winning was no surprise.
Right.
Yeah,
but
sadly.
At least especially I can say, in comparison, the men's showcase on Saturday night was able to really showcase all four of those tag teams spectacularly. Their strengths, their finishers, everything really popped off in ways that even Otis, even Big Sweaty Otis, as Titus O'Neil kept calling him, was able to showcase properly. This match didn't even showcase its winners that much. It showcased like all the other women who tried to do things, but it just looked overly complex, especially with Chelsea Green just flopping all over the place. And all these two did was come in at the end, put in submission. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who was this match really helping? And that's when I go back to it, where it's like a good match is where everybody gets to shine. I don't feel like anybody shined in this thing. It was just an excuse to get them on the card.
Yeah, usually those are built to be spot fest, and this one ended up not being it.
Or or was it really?
How do you mean?
Well, sorry for going a little bit off topic. We already heard the announcement, right?
Yes.
So, WWE is officially sold to UFC.
Well, their parent company, Endeavor.
Yes.
Who owns
their
UFC.
Parent company. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically they're essentially they're gonna pretty much merge.
Yeah, basically UFC and WWE are now like brother and sister under Daddy Endeavor.
Yes. Which gives a whole new meaning to the word future endeavors.
Mm-hmm. Some people getting fired.
Honestly, there's going to be a bunch of people that are probably going to be looking for jobs in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
We wish you luck in your future endeavors from Endeavor, but so it's going to be an interesting.
Future endeavors are not with Endeavor; they're somewhere else.
There you go.
Find a company called Future.
Yes. So, which is, I think that may have played into Rousey getting the win. Why Brock got the win because they're all very much associated with UFC.
Mhm.
Same, so
I dare say that's probably why Roman got the win too.
to an
Because if you're going to go
extent,
ahead and you're going to make the business happen, which I hate to go, outside baseball here on this sort of thing. I know there's inside baseball and then there's outside baseball.
and
This is
yes,
definitely outside.
two people from NXT did leave today. I don't remember the names exactly, but no, you're absolutely right, Tyler. Two people did leave today. It was a tag team.
Seriously?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check and see what that is. But yeah, the fact of the matter is, like, if you're going to go ahead and you're going to like show off your company, like WrestleMania was basically like it's a big showcase to show to Endeavor and probably anyone else that wanted to make a bid. This is what we can do. This is what we can offer.
Which
So,
makes
are you going to go ahead and start the new correlation with Endeavor and UFC with a brand new champion who used to work for the other company? Or your tried and true, been here for a year champion?
honestly,
And I hate that the politics have to get into it.
Yeah, honestly, for me, I would have gone with Cody, because it may not be as a tried and true guy.
Oh no, Grizzly, the,
Grizzly Young
the
Bastard. There you
dyad, the dyad left.
go. Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Yep. But
Oh,
no, I actually personally I would have gone with Cody because it would have created that WrestleMania moment that they could have pushed as part of the sale. They could have shown the crowd the happy super duper crowd reactions like this is what we create. This is our product. This is what we can do for our fans. This makes us all happy. And then but instead now they make the sale and their go home image is of people going.
Yeah, no, it doesn't place them in the best
So,
light, but
no,
as
it
far
doesn't.
as like knowing that they have a strong platform to jump off from,
They could have gotten that with anyone. They could have gotten that with Cody winning as well, in
Look,
addition to creating the
I'm
moment.
not saying it's the right idea. I'm just simply saying I understand it. I don't like it, but I understand it.
It apparently the 1,000-day reign milestone is. I guess that is the important thing now that they're going to be going for because they keep burning all the other bridges. They keep burning all the other potential moments. But
Well, who's the one that had the 1,000-day marker? Was it Hogan?
no, it was let me look it up.
Oh wow.
I thought it was Hogan because they were trying to maybe phase out Hogan a bit because Lord knows he's had.
I don't think
it was.
it wasn't San Martino. It was who was it? I'm gonna remember the guy's name later, and that's the annoying part. But
mention in the comments if you know who's.
There you go, Tyler. I need you to do a quick bit of research if you want. But no, it was like an older guy. I think it was like Perez or something like that. But for some reason my mind keeps thinking Pedro Pascal. Nope, that's not it. No, it's not CM Punk. Definitely not CM Punk. It's not.
No, the minute the Mandalorian gets into wrestling, man. Oof.
Yeah. Well,
Punk was only at 500 some odd days. He was just a little bit over a year.
You know who's going to be the next title holder for WWE? Conor McGregor.
God no.
No, that's probably going to be next WrestleMania.
Wait,
Dude,
mark it right now.
Dude, I would sooner take Spider Silva as the U.S. champ than have Conor come in with his caterwauling.
I have a very big feeling that they're basically going to use WWE to basically showcase the UFC guys.
It's not true. It's impossible.
Yeah.
No.
So honestly, I think with this merger, we're going to see a lot more UFC fighters make appearances and be involved in WWE storylines more so than say than say Silva or Rousey or Lesnar or I think what the hell was the guy? He faced off against Lesnar couple like a year or so ago. I forget. I don't know. It's just so many.
I don't know. They had Daniel Cormier in the audience.
Yes. Yeah, they did. Yes, they did. And then they also still have the interactions with all the NFL players like George Kittle.
But, yeah, Kittle was there twice.
Yeah, yes, he was.
And actually got involved in a match with
he did.
The Miz.
With Patty Mac.
Well, I'm going to put my hat out.
Okay.
Davion, the new world champion?
I wouldn't say WWE as per se. We all know I'm a huge fan of wrestling, but I'm not a huge fan of this individual.
Oh, no.
Ryan, you know who I'm talking about.
Why?
This guy disrespected me at New York Comic Con.
Oh, jeez.
He didn't show up last year. But I will say this. Tony Khan, you have a pain in the neck that's in that. Oh. Yeah. Well, what's up?
I remembered who it was. Sorry. Pedro Morales. My mind sucks.
No, it's okay. This guy asked for a fight. Only reason I didn't give him this is because I had respect and I had dignity. And I love my New York Comic Con. But Tony Khan, make this match happen. Me versus MJF for the AEW title.
Dude, CM Punk will be back in AEW before that happens for you.
Tony Khan, I'll
watch that match. I'll watch it.
I'll watch it, but I'm putting my money on MJF.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You can put your money on it, but don't be surprised if that money is gone.
Yes, and
oh my God. That would be
no, for the amount of money I'll make, I was like, I'll just give them all, and they'll take all of my money and just simply give me a gold brick. It'll just be a singular gold brick that'll quantify how much I've won.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, I will dress up as Red Hood as my intro and take them on in my cosplay outfit.
Side note on the comment there.
Yeah.
No, CM Punk is not AEW's last hope at this point.
He
burned that chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if he does come back, he is going to have to make a lot of recompense.
Oh yeah, he basically destroyed his time in AEW. If he pops back, fine, but it's gonna take a lot on everyone's end to make that happen again. I will sooner see he has a better chance of popping up in Impact before popping back up in AEW.
Right.
Which I wouldn't mind, because there's some people over there that would be pretty interesting. I'd love to see him and Bully Ray mix it up. Just the war of words would be funny.
Bully Ray will potato him so badly. Yeah, no.
Wow.
Yeah, he will. No, Bully Ray will dent him.
No, but I'd like to see him go up against Alexander and Sami Callihan.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. The matches will be good, but when you get with someone like Bully Ray involved again, if he's in a match against CM Punk, he's going to get a potato right to the head at least once during that fight. But yeah, no, he will. I think there's a better chance of him appearing in WWE or Impact before he's back in AEW.
Right. And also amends with UFC.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no. Now that UFC and WWE are going to be
I will
siblings,
say, I watched
there is no way he is going back to WWE.
Oh,
not knowing that like Dana White and everyone was within an earshot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So in that case, where would he go? It's because he burned his bridge with AEW. He burned his bridge with UFC, and now as such WWE again.
I mean,
the only
Honestly,
place
I think
left
the
would
only
be Impact.
legitimate place for him to make amends would probably be New Japan. Because I think
Yeah.
you go to New Japan for not necessarily to like make a name for yourself, but to, you know, upgrade yourself to the next level.
Right.
Those that go to New Japan Pro Wrestling don't go there for the accolades. They don't go there for the money. They don't go there for the television spots. They go there for the love of the sport and to work with the very best on the other side of the world.
Yes.
Right.
If Punk wants to add any new legitimacy to his name and his legacy, that's the place you go. You go there for a year and you come back even stronger, better, a wiser person, and you'll be welcomed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's doing wonders for Mercedes Moné or Money or however you say it now.
Sasha Banks,
Sasha.
formerly known as Sasha Banks.
And it's done wonders for other people that have gone over there too, whether it be
Yeah.
Kenny Omega, whether it be John Moxley.
Omega
these
versus
are all
Jericho
people that
is-
went there and made a new name for themselves when their name was Mud.
Yeah. Well, Omega and Jericho's match was phenomenal out there.
Yeah.
Like that catapulted both of them into even more limelight, which enhanced AEW when that formed.
And mind you, they weren't
Oh, yeah,
spring
AJ
chickens
Styles
when
as
they went
well.
out there. They were like just starting with their middle ages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, AJ Styles too, sure. And now we're getting probably Jay White, the past leader of Bullet Club. He may be coming over to Monday Night Raw tonight.
It'll be an interesting Raw, but unfortunately, I don't think I really want to watch I would rather read about the results for WWE for the going forward for at least a little while.
I still want to see how the audience reacts because you know how the audience can get on the Monday after Raw.
Depends on where. LA is not as rowdy in terms of WWE crowds.
Given that ending, though, I think they would be.
And for those watching, if you have opinions on WrestleMania 12, by all means leave it for us in the comments. We will be happily comment back at you. And yeah.
Yep. See you in about a half hour, folks.
Yeah, thanks,
Definitely catch Tales from the Film Set, and for all of us here at Sports Den.
Later.